A. Philip Randolph Institute, National Education Conference, the 49th year. George Gresham of 1199, the union Dr. King called his favorite union. Michael Brown's anniversary this weekend, the anniversary of Charlottesville, Virginia. Are we going backwards? And what can organized labor do about it?
Yeah, well, the thing that I have to keep remembering is that we've been through tougher times than this. When we think for people, African American families, when you think going all the way back to slavery and all of the lynchings that I know that my family went through living in the South during the Jim Crow days, we've seen worse than this. When the President Obama was elected by the country, it felt to many of us that this country had finally awakened and understood that there's more issues important for us to get together with than what divides us, particularly when it comes to that long, angry history of race in this country. And I think for a few people that really was not ready to see this country moving in that direction in a collective fashion, this is what we're feeling today. We're feeling the backlash to that. But I feel confident when I look at the other movements that have been birthed by that is not the majority of the people in this country, and that we have the work to do. Us in organized labor, well, the first thing I think we must do is get our own houses together. We have to also answer to the sins of our past. To be quite honest with you, people of color were not always welcomed in the labor movement, and that's why when you talk to a person of color sometimes and you talk about church and their spirituality, that's a natural instinct. It has been with them from the beginning of time. Labor is something that we're starting to know and appreciate now. That has not always been with us. It's always not been a sanctuary. For those of us like me who grew up in a labor household, we know that the difference it can make. And so I think this is a moment that we all have to be realistic and hold on to each other, starting in the House of Labor. I've always believed that the leadership in labor ought to reflect the membership. And so in some cases, that is not the case. I'm very proud to say that is absolutely the case in 1199. We have a huge amount. The majority of our leadership are women, and the majority of them are women of color. And I think that the first thing we have to do is to make this just like the spiritual homes that many of us come from, make labor the place, our sanctuary, our place of comfort and solidarity and commitment. And then we can take on moments like this. We've been through harder times than this. It's bad we feel like we ought to progress, moving more forward than backwards. But sometimes in life, you got to take one step backwards and then you move two steps forward. So I'm not losing my spirit. I'm not losing my fight. And I believe that is why the people are here. And one of the things I'll say is that this is one of the largest attendance I've seen in this conference too. So people are waking up. And, I know if they continue to get involved in organizations like this, then and they continue to listen to programs like Make It Plain, that they will stay woke. And that's what we have to hold on to. We can't regret the fact that we have to fight. We just have to keep fighting.